guys, welcome back to my channel. I have something to share to y'all that's been clinging around me for about 3 years now. About 3 years ago, just hit 3 years ago, my older sister Farah got into a car accident. Mind you, she's a good driver, never had a ticket for speeding, never had an accident, none of those. 3 years ago, me and the Martino tribe family went home to New York to spend some quality time with the other Martinos in upstate New York, because that's where my husband is from. 3 years ago, July 28, 2015, my sister Farah was supposed to pick up my Ford Explorer, my 2015 Ford Explorer SUV to she was supposed to pick it up because because on the 30th or the 31st we were scheduled to fly back from New York to California, because we used to live in California because my husband works for the military doing special stuff for Department of Defense, so we're constantly moving. Anyways, so the night before she got into an accident, I reminded her to make sure to pick up the car, make sure to pick up the SUV in my house because it was just parked in the driveway. Make sure to pick it up, use it so that the engine is not off for 2.5 weeks or so. For some reason, she didn't listen. I mean, knowing my sister that she is, she doesn't like to listen sometimes. She doesn't like to do, she doesn't like people telling her what to do, I guess. But she does the stuff that I always tell her. She listens to me even though she's older than me. But for some reason, I don't know what was she's thinking, but for some reason she never picked up the car the day before she got into a car wreck. She said she got too tired because she was an apartment manager and she was traveling from different apartment buildings for inspections and whatnot. So I was like, okay, well, before you go to work, make sure you pick it up, use the car, because the car hasn't been running for 2 weeks, and I don't want my car to stay, to be parked and not get the engines warmed up, because that's not good. And then she goes, yeah, I'll pick it up. And then little did I know, she didn't pick it up on that day that she got into an accident. She said that she was running late. She had to drive to Modesto, California, and she has no time to stop by and leave her car and pick up my car. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Just make sure that later that day when you get off work, please go straight to my house and pick up my car, use my car so that the engine runs, like make sure that the engine is running and the whole 9 yards. And then so about 6 o'clock East Coast time, and that's about, no, I think, let's see, no, 8 o'clock East Coast time, so that would be, let's see, 8, 7, 6, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, California time, because California is 3 hours late, like, New York is 3 hours ahead, and you do the math. And so I got a call from my sister saying that she got into a car accident. So I was like, okay, are you okay? And then she goes, I don't know, my car is upside down. And I was like, wait a minute, did you pick up the car? And she goes, no, Dingo, remember I didn't pick up your car because I was running late. And knowing that my car is gigantic, my car was like a 5-star rating on Car Crash. So, you know, so I was like, are you okay? Is everyone okay? Is everybody hurt? Whose fault is it? I was like asking her these questions. I was making sure that she was awake while waiting for the paramedics. And then so I was like, wait, did you call 911? And she goes, no, you're the first person that I call. I was like, stooge, hang up the phone, call 911, and then call me back when, you know, so that I know what's going on. And then so she's like, oh yeah, wait, let me call Vince too. I'm like, no, dude, call 911. She goes, I don't know, I think somebody might have called. She was zoning off, by the way. She was zoning off while talking to me because she was like mumbling like, she was like, she's starting to lose conscious. And then so I was like freaking out because I'm like thousands of miles away, helpless. I can't even do anything. So what I did, I called my friend a favor. I asked him a favor. He's a good friend of mine. He's an attorney in California, because I do work for him. And yeah, so I asked him if he could go find my sister, because from what I heard, she just got into a car wreck. And then so after I talked to him, he said, okay, I'm on my way. I'm gonna go find what's going on. I'm gonna see how big was the accident. And then so I was like, okay. And then minutes after I hung up the phone with Steven, my sister called. She goes, oh, they're cutting the car to take me off. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, I don't know, but I can see a bone sticking out on my left arm. Yes. I said, what do you mean? Did you break your arm or something? And then I can hear the paramedics trying to talk to her. And good thing I was on speaker. You know, good thing I was connected to, I was on speaker phone, so that, because she was like upside down. So the paramedics and the firefighters, they were like, okay, we're here to help you, please don't panic. So I told the first responders, I said, oh, don't you worry, I'm on the phone with my sister. I'm just making sure that she doesn't zone off, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know her position right now. And so I'm like crying and I can't do anything. And then so I can hear the jackhammer, like I can hear it. They're like trying to cut her because I guess the car was upside down. And mind you, Honda Civic Coupe is like really tiny, two car door. It's only a 2-door car, and it's really tiny. It's cramped. And then so there I can hear the jackhammer, and then out of nowhere the call got disconnected. And then I couldn't get a hold of her for like the entire night. And then so I called my my friend and my brother. Good thing my brother was in California. Good thing he wasn't traveling at that time when she got into an accident, because he was scheduled to travel to Japan too to train new people for his work. And then so I called Steven, I called my brother Charles, and then they couldn't find her. My friend went to 4 different hospitals in Modesto, California, and they couldn't find her. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm like freaking out, because I've you know, I mean, you know the feeling when your loved one got into a serious accident, you know, like this thing comes up in your head. It's like, what if she passed away, knock on wood, during the whole extraction process from the car and whatnot. And then from what you told me, she broke her arm, and that right there, I'm like, must be really bad. And then so the ambulance took her to a big hospital in Modesto. It's a level 5 hospital. It's for like critical care. It's a critical care hospital, for short. Like those seriously injured from a car accident, like, and you do the picture. I don't want to picture it, but so she was one of the biggest hospital. They put her under Jane Doe, and I was like, why would they put her on Jane Doe if she was still awake? And she was responsive. She was responsive to the first responders, but then at the same time dozing off. So I don't understand why they put her on Jane Doe. And there are like a ton of Jane Does on that hospital. And then so my friend found her. My brother went to go see my friend right away when my brother found out that my friend found her. And I've never heard my brother cried. I've only seen him cried when our mom, our mom / auntie, passed away, because she was the one who raised us since we were little. I've never heard him cry other than when our aunt passed away. And then he was like, good thing you weren't here, because I know how you are. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just like trying to gather my thoughts together, and I said, let me call you back. And then right when I hung up the phone, I was like bawling. I was crying. I felt so lost. I felt so useless because I wasn't there. The whole 9 yards. Skip to 3 years later. I noticed that my sister is not the same anymore. She used to be, mind you, my sister is really smart, smarter than me, believe it or not. But she was never the same. She was never the same. Her attention span cut short. Like, she can't pay attention for a very long time, and some people are just taking advantage of her, and it sucks, because knowing that my husband, what he does for a living, we're required to relocate because he works for the military. So I'm not there for her all the time, and it sucks. It's mind-boggling, but I can't really do anything, because my family, half of my family, my own family, is here. I mean, she's my family, but I have my own family too. So it's been 3 years since the accident, and every time her accident anniversary, I'm like, I just need some time to myself and think of what happened to my sister 3 years ago. That 3 years ago I almost lost my sister because of a stupid driver. I'm sorry. Because of a driver that wasn't paying attention. My sister was a victim of this major accident. It was my sister's car was struck by a empty trailer from a wheeler truck. The wheeler truck that hit my sister is a trucking company, and they haul, you know, sand and stuff. And at that time, the trailer of that truck was empty. So when someone cut in front of the wheeler truck, the wheeler truck driver I'm sorry. The wheeler truck driver overcorrected herself because it was a female driver. She overcorrected herself instead of like just a mild turn, knowing the rookie that she is. She's a new driver. She overcorrected it, and my sister thought that the truck wasn't pulling a trailer, so she kind of slowed down so that she doesn't get hit. But it was already too late when the truck driver overcorrected herself. The wheeler truck turned to left. Mind you, my sister was in the fast lane. So this was my sister. This is the truck. Somebody from the fast lane in front of my sister cut the truck to make a quick exit. And so the wheeler driver overcorrected herself instead of just a mild correction, and my sister slowed down to give way. She didn't know that the truck was pulling a 3-cart empty trailer. So when the truck driver overcorrected herself, so my sister slowed down, and then the truck driver went like this, and then the empty trailer that the truck was pulling pushed my sister's car, back of her car, and then so the wheeler truck, and then my sister slowed down, and then the trailer that the truck was pulling swerved to her back and pushed her car, and then my sister's car was like scratching on the side rail, and then spun 6-7 times, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. The pictures are really graphic. People that witnessed the accident thought my sister was dead. Because it felt like 10 minutes, because it was like so dusty. It felt like forever, but it was only a matter of seconds, and because it was really dusty. But anyways, so yeah, every 3 years I'm like, I wonder if she would have picked up my car, my big car, she wouldn't get hurt as bad as she got hurt with her tiny car. But I guess it is what it is, and it happens for a reason. But it just saddens me that every year on her accident anniversary, it slows me down. But it's just, it makes you think that as long as your loved ones are still around you, and you know, you need to like spend more time with your family and less hate. And yeah, that's why no matter how many times we had our arguments, we always make up because we're family. But yeah, that's what happened 3 years ago. I'm so sorry. I just need to let it out because it's been 3 years and my sister has never been the same. But